learn, experience yourself Mahaganapati. You'll be able to learn about Mahaganapati Paramborul, how to imbibe the attributes of Mahaganapati Paramborul and manifest completion in life, how to manifest the right reasoning in life, learning the science of oneness or Nityatva, and manifesting the power of feeding Ganesha, literally. And you might be wondering how you might be able to achieve this. One is by listening. Second, by internalizing, by applying these powerful manifestations and powerful cognitions in your life, by manifesting the powerful cognitions as a part of you, and with the darshan and initial power of feeding Ganesha. So now let us first begin with understanding who is Mahaganapati Paramborul. There's a beautiful verse from the Ganesha Upanishad where it describes and praises Lord Ganesha and says, you have manifested as Bhumi, earth, you have manifested as Apas, water, you have manifested as Anala, fire, you have manifested as Anila, wind, and you have manifested as Nabha, sky or space. Therefore, O Ganapati, help us realize your essence in the manifested world. Therefore, O Ganapati, help us realize your essence as the source of speech. Mahaganapati Paramborul is worshipped by all sampradayas. He is the embodiment of auspiciousness, the embodiment of completion, the embodiment of joy, and the embodiment of love, and the remover of obstacles. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has described, I can say the largest worshipped deity in India is Ganesha. Every street will have a Ganesha temple. And you don't need too much ritualistic or a highly arranged puja for him. Anybody can worship. Ganesha is the most worshipped god. And beautifully, it's described how Devi just puts her muscle memory in the haldi, the turmeric, which she applied on her body, and the mehendi. And this is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself had described, which she applied on her body and mehendi, and she just pulled both of her muscle memory out to make Ganapati and breathe life into it. And of course, then the child becomes alive. Because he is made out of only the matter, Adi Shakti, Prakriti, now Paramashiva needs to add the Purusha and the bioenergy into it. Paramashiva then tells to his ganas, all right, go and get any deity or any head that you can find. The first head, go and get it. And they bring an elephant head, all these ganas, and he fixes that head and adds his bioenergy. Once the baby is complete, Paramashiva himself breathed life into it. Then Ganesha was complete. Yes. So now let us watch this very brief video where we're going to be experiencing, seeing the message from this morning of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on Ganesh Chaturthi, where he had allowed the world to literally experience Ganapati. So let's now watch this video.
Mahaganapati is cognize his astitva. He is alive very much, intensely, powerfully. In Mahakailasa, how much you are alive zillion times with more intensity. He is alive now. Listen. Whether you are happy, sad, blissful, painful, good or bad, you feel, you exist. The feeling you exist is called isness. Tatata. Nirvana. The existence is nirvigalpa, nirvana, niranjana, nishkala. Kalatraya, dehatraya, avastatrayatita. Kalatraya, dehatraya, avastatraya, atita. Listen. Ganapati is the source of your very feeling you exist. You feel you exist. That feeling, that experience is from Ganapati. So understand, Ganapati exists zillion times more intensely. So bow down to his existence. Keep the Atmalinga in Sankalpa Mudra. Bow down to his existence. Through Ganapati Atharvasirsha Upanishad. Now Ganapati will be landing in all of us. In the deity we have, in the Atmalinga you have, and in your Mooladhara Chakra, the source of your existence. On this auspicious day, I commit with you all. I'll give you all the experience of Ganapati. Understand? Not just worshipping. Experience of Ganapati. Not just puja. Experience of Ganapati. So bring Atmalinga in your hand in Sankalpa Mudra and keep all your three eyes open. See Ganapati manifesting now.
Yes. Now let us be introduced to Ganesha and how he represents all of the various auspicious qualities by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself from 2010.
Very form is a powerful representation of the cosmos. The yantra means the form, visual expression. It's a very powerful expression of the cosmic intelligence. If you see, he has 4 hands. In one, the right upper hand is holding the nose, the angusha. The left upper hand is holding the pasha. The right lower hand is holding the tusk, his own broken tusk. And the left lower hand, yes, sweet. It's It's a very beautiful philosophical representation. See, the noose Angusa has is a very small instrument which can control elephant. The huge elephant can be controlled just with that small noose. It is actually, it represents unclutching. Any size mind, elephant size mind can be controlled by a small key, unclutching. The noose represents unclutching. Unclutching is such a powerful key. It looks very small, but the mind, which is wild elephant, can be just controlled with a small noose, with small unclutching. Left hand, the pasha which he holds, pasha means attachment. He does not allow the thoughts to become attachment. He engram. See, thoughts, if you add attachment to it, it becomes engram. Because his attachments are under his control, he does not allow thoughts to become engram. One side, thoughts are never becoming engram. They remain as thoughts, because pasha is under his control. The other side, because of angusha, even from the thought unclutching happens. So his inner space is completely under his control because of the angusha and pasha. The upper two hands represents the completely peaceful, blissful inner space. And the lower right hand, which holds his own tusk, you need to know the history of the tusk. Once Vyasa requested Ganesha to write Mahabharata, largest poem ever written in the planet Earth, even now, still now, is Mahabharata. Longest and largest poem. Vyasa wants somebody to pen down, because when the flow happens, it's such an extemporaneous, spontaneous flow, he can't pen down. He has to just open it and somebody else has to pen down. He is not able to find anybody for his speed. So he asks Ganesha, can you pen down? Ganesha says, great, sure, I'll pen down. But the speed I write will be too much. If you are not able to cope up with my speed, I'll stop and go away. Then Vyasa puts a condition. All right, I understand. I am also putting condition. You should write everything only after you understand. So agreement was prepared. So Vyasa's condition, Ganesha will write only after completely understands, so that Vyasa will have a few seconds at least. So the agreement was ready. Vyasa is supposed to match with the speed of Ganesha, and Ganesha is supposed to understand and pen down everything Vyasa expresses. Suddenly, the Ganesha's pen broke. And now, because this class was not there in the agreement, what to do when the pen breaks? It is whose responsibility? Naturally not Vyasa's. Because Ganesha is only penning down. It's supposed to be his responsibility. But Ganesha can't miss. Because he has given, as per the agreement, Ganesha has to pen down everything. Even if you miss few seconds, some of the great important truths which Vyasa is expressing will be lost. Because the expression is happening in full speed. Banks of Saraswati. Writing is going on. Suddenly the pen broke. Now what to do? Ganesha. He has to complete, he can't miss. And he can't run for pen. If he runs for one more pen, he may miss few words. And he can't tell Vyasa, stop, stop, stop. I'll get another one pen. No. He immediately breaks his own tusk and starts writing. This shows two things. One, his spontaneous decision making. Two, his courage to sacrifice for the cause. Understand? First thing, he is not telling Ganesha, he is not telling Vyasa, stop, 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 I will run and get a pen. And this was not there in our agreement. No. Spontaneous decision making and courage to sacrifice his own tusk. That tusk means courage to sacrifice and spontaneous decision-making power. So the upper two hands represents his inner space, pure blissful inner space. The lower right hand represents his ability to take spontaneous decisions and courage and sacrifice for the cause he has taken up. When these three are there, life is a sweet. That is what he means by having the sweet in the lower left hand. The elephant face represents the extraordinary awareness and sensitivity. The elephant's eyesight or the elephant's ability to smell is extraordinary. And his big pot belly represents the whole cosmos. The whole cosmos is inside him. He is the cosmic intelligence. And his mouth represents the playfulness. See, mouse, even though you have a little fear, it always creates a kind of a playfulness in you. The playful feeling. Whenever you see it, you start laughing. That is why the Tom and Jerry is so popular. The mouse can create a playful feeling inside your mind all over the world. All over the world in human consciousness, the mouse is always associated with playfulness. He is doing this whole thing so playfully.
Yes, we can now move on. So as you can see, tuning in to Ganesha means imbibing these qualities, where Ganesha holds the Ankusha, Pasha, the tusk and the Modak. The Ankusha represents unclutching the mind, which is the wild elephant, that can be controlled with a small ankusha, with a small unclutching. The pasha represents attachment, and he does not allow the thoughts to become attachment engrams. The modak is the declaration that life will always be sweet like Ganesha's modak, and the tusk represents the ability to take spontaneous decisions and courage to sacrifice. So, the next slide. The unclutched, unattached, spontaneous courage to sacrifice inner space. When you manifest that,